everybody, and welcome back to another High Button game here, the first of the weekend here on the High Button channel, and we are off to the races with our first game about to start off, the U13AAA, the team we feel like we've been following like crazy the past few weeks as they prepare to head to Quebec, get all the regular season games stuffed into this little space of time, I guess you could put it, and get ready to go as taking on Sackville. And this is a special one here, is Sackville, the junior Mooseheads for the 2023 season. And so these are the two teams that will be heading up to the famous Quebec tournament taking place heading up on Tuesday. So this will be a great pregame for them, as the team that's representing Halifax taking on the team that made it in on their own hard work, applications, and merit. And we are off to the races here. A good Sackville team too. I think 16-9 on the year, so a decent record, as we have an early penalty here. And Bedford will instantly head to the power play, I believe, as the holding call in there. Okay, so quick power play here for Bedford, as a team known for some hot starts over the course of the season, that's for sure. And get ready to go here, hoping to put another one on the board. Last win, 11-1 versus Churro, a big win on Rink A last week, I believe, last Sunday, as McLean tries to play that puck out in front. It gets knocked away. McLean with another shot, blocked in front. Spinning around, playing that back to the line for Duffy. Duffy down the wing, and Burke tries to pick it up, but it'll miss his stick, and McLean has to do some digging there in the corner. He frees it up. Behind the back pass there by Brewer. A nice little shot, and then heading right to the front of the net. A pass across to the right side, trying to tip in front. That one goes by, as it'll spin back the other way there, and Land pinching all the way down there on the power play. Helped create, but no shot there on net, as it's along the left side. Stick handling now, knocked off. And we'll come back the other way. Burke hands that off to the right side. Brian picks it up. Brian with a nice move around. He still has it in front. Shot, and that one high. Brian creating something with some good pressure on him there. He was the only man back. He'll hand that down low. Quick shot by Mood on the side. Great idea, didn't get by. Back to the line now for Gillis. Gillis hands that off, intercepted. Sackville now the other way. LeBlanc chipping up ahead, puts it a little too far along, as Snide gonna play that one back in behind. Tries to play that, backhands it to the middle, and now picked up in stride. Surrett drops that. Mood catches up to it. Mood down the left side. Bedford on the power play here, 24 seconds left in it. In behind, try for the wraparound, pinching on the corner, and it'll be whistled down here with 16 seconds left on the power play. Bedford doing a good job of pressuring the zone here to start, but nothing in the back of the net. Best opportunity was Mood, when Mood got that quick hot shot on the left side, covered and a tough angle, so nothing came of it. Back to the middle here. LeBlanc wins it back for Sackville. Sackville trying to wrap around. Still 10 seconds left on the PK. Back to the line. Hopkins sends it in. Hits the back right corner. O'Leary picks it up. O'Leary looking for Van Polgeest in front, but couldn't get it to him. So Van Polgeest will pinch in along the boards, but Sackville takes the inside edge and will have the puck. Hopkins trying to get it by. It'll fall back there and hand it off to the middle. McPhee to O'Leary. O'Leary hands it off to Van Polgeest. Van Polgeest on the left side. Into the wall. They'll play it back in along the boards. Van Polgeest still fighting there, the left winger, but eventually gets pulled out to the right side. O'Leary tries to hustle back after that, but it'll be Sackville cutting back into the zone, trying to jump by and pick that puck up. It pulls back into the zone, and we'll be back to even strength here. So a successful kill for Sackville right off the start, and that's good for the confidence of the Sackville team, taking on a Bedford team that's first in the league. And now another penalty coming, so a good first kill, but gonna have to do it back to back here as a tripping call on Brewer along the boards. Okay, interference call. As with 11:41 left in the first, one shot on net for that first power play. We'll head back to the man advantage for Bedford, and we will wait here as good opportunity to start out this game. We're less than 5 minutes in, and they're already racking up the offensive zone time. Sackville, tail of the tape for them, and the game plan that they're going to want to try is keep that puck out of their own end as much as possible. Obviously harder on the PK. We haven't really seen what they can do at 5-on-5 yet, but that puck gets pulled in down the left side. Cutting in and looking for a shot, steered aside by Snide. It'll just be pushed into the back there. Duffy holds it. Duffy hands up to McLean here on the left wing. McLean hustling in. He pulls it around. Good hands in front to stay with it. Still has it. Powers through the muscle and gets a shot off, but steered away. Duffy down along the end boards. Into the wall now, spun along, back to the wall they go. Land hands it off to the right side, gonna have to stop up. Spinning around the zone there, McLean picks it up down low. Back to Duffy on the line. Duffy spin around, back to McLean. McLean holding, plays it down to the right side. Defense pinched in across, shot in, Burke scores. Gets it right on the stick in front and fires it home left side. And you can see that one coming as a perfect pass in front, and Burke's not going to miss from there if he's got that much net to shoot at. So 1-0 the score, and it took two. Took about 3 minutes out of the possible 4, but finds the back of the net, and Bedford now playing with the lead. 3 shots in total. So now Sackville can't take any penalties. They got to show what they can do here at 5-on-5. Already down a goal, so uphill battle to come here for the junior Mooseheads team. In through the zone they come. Surratt hands it off to Burke. He shoots that. It's knocked into the wall and chipped up back into the corner there. Brian's getting pressured along those boards, and Mood tries to hand that off in front. Fanned on there by Surratt. Comes back through the middle. Sackville picking it up here down the left side now. In stride they go. Robertson cuts him off, and Brian in to pick him off, and that one gets sent out in front. Snide able to track it well with the eyes, so had it under control, but took a funny bounce, and then back to the line they go. Robertson picks it up. Robertson, the first-year player here, one of the few on this Bedford team, cuts in down the left side, picks up speed through the zone, holding onto it, chips out in front onto Mood's stick, and Mood had to get it into shooting position, so he couldn't get the shot off right away, but then they finish off on the rebound. And that'll be 2-0 there, as it looks like McPhee's coming out of there, and he might have fired that one home. Could have been Mood. It was a stockpile of players there in the front, but nonetheless 2-0 as Robertson with a good little rush, one of his first end-to-end rushes resulting in a goal this season, and it was a nice one, put all the way back behind the net, had that center out in front. Mood wasn't able to score right away, but played back to the line, and then the next attempt in the back of the net. Played over to the right side now. McPhee in through the zone they come. Not too much time in the offensive end here for Sackville yet, as Bedford starting this game solid. The start they'd like as McPhee hands that off to the right side. That bounces back, and Sackville off the end wall trying to play it up. Van Polgeest back into the zone, try to center up front, stopped up. Wind up shot, tipped high over the net. Van Polgeest first on it down low. He'll do a little toe drag, try to center out in front. Didn't get there, and Bedford's buzzing right now. Back to McLean. McLean hands it off to the right side. Quentin Land inside the zone will shoot it off. It hit the skate of one of the Sackville players changing, and instantly Land points it out, and the refs catch it too. And into the penalty box as the too many men gets called, and the coach not happy with that. But the third power play here in the first 7 minutes of this game. We haven't gotten into much of a rhythm here in terms of play. There's been a whistle after many of these chances. It hasn't really been too fluid yet. Like I said, lots of time in the offensive zone for the Bedford squad as it's tipped out in front. McLean gets it here on the left side, looking to make it 3-0 here. Early shot in, they score. McLean sticks with it. And just 11 seconds in to the power play, Bedford up 3-0 with 2 power play goals. And you think you'd predict this. Oh, and it looks like the goalie is shaking something off back there. And you think you predict this, but it is hard to predict. This is a good Sackville team. The Bedford squad just seeming to show up right now as they play their last game before the Quebec tournament, and 3-0 to score. Shots 6-2, and we are just 7 minutes into this game. 8 minutes left to go here in the first. Played down the right side, Brewer. That one offside, and we continue to have a whistle fest here as we've gotten 8 minutes played in about 17 minutes of ice since they touched the ice here. So Sackville on the edge of the ropes here, dangerously early. 3-0. See if Bedford keep it up. Their last game was 11-1, the final score. Handing in the left side. Maybe Bedford feeling like they got something to prove here against the team that is representing Nova Scotia in Quebec. Played down the right side. Into the zone they come, wind up, hand it off in front. That one off the end of the stick. Tillman, the captain on the Sackville team, one of the better players in the league. Some would say a lock for U15 major next year, but hasn't been made his presence known too much tonight, other than a little bit of a hit he just laid there that the ref looked directly at and didn't call. I'm thinking 3 penalties this early. It's going to take a lot to get one here. As Sackville up the left side they come. Stopped in along the boards. Trying to catch up. Surrett will play it ahead, and now it'll be a Sackville power play. So desperately needed a McPhee to the box. And Sackville looking to get themselves back in this game. Down 3 early. 6:57 left to go in the first. And it'll be a 2-minute power play, so a good opportunity. One back to the line and quickly picked up by Van Polgeest as he leaves and gets hit, and that'll immediately cancel out the power play as body contact. So good hustle there by Van Polgeest. Just gives 5 seconds of power play time for the Sackville side, so not an ideal setup here. As we head back to center, Hackler will be out there now. And 6:47 left to go in the first. Land on the right side. Plays that down into some skates. Picked up by Van Polgeest in front. Handed off again. Spun around and a little push into the boards there to Duffy as it was stopped up before it could get dangerous. Hackler cuts him off on the side. Van Polgeest down low. Back to the line. Duffy winds up. Duffy low shot. Rebound in front. It's 4-on-4. So no one there for it. As Land pulling that all the way around. Back to Duffy. The 2 defense pretty low as they get a late change here. O'Leary coming on. That one's sent into the corner. Handed out in front. Spun around. O'Leary shot. That one steered aside. Pushed out now. Under 6 minutes to go in the first. Chipped down the right side. They come. Brewer. Brewer holding onto it. Shoots it into the pad. Rebound there in front. And now stopped up and whistled down. 5:51 left to go in the first. One minute left of 4-on-4. One back the other way. O'Leary beaten on the dot there by Tillman, and he'll pick it up. Picking up speed down the right side. Tillman shoots that in. Gillis pick it up on it. Gillis in behind. He gets pressured. Shakes the man off. Brewer now up the right side. Handed to O'Leary in the middle. O'Leary looking for the chip around. He gets aside and picks it up in the right corner. Holding on to it now. Knocked down. Spun around and now cleared out. 32 seconds left to go here on 4-on-4. It's sent for an icing, and it'll make it there. So we'll head back the other way, and 5:13 left to go in the first. Business as usual here for the Bedford side is a quick 3-0 lead, 9-2 the shots, and comes to 4-on-4, and it's just been an absolute penalty fest here to start. See, when I grew up, there was hitting in U13, so I can't help but wonder how many penalties like this would be taken out if that was still the case. You know, these kids some of them are a lot bigger than the others, and when you're playing in a game like hockey, which is meant to be aggressive like this, that was shot in and just steered aside by Snide. A great save there as Tillman tried to go 5-hole into the left side. That one's shot in, bouncing off the boards, picked up and handed off over to Burke. Burke down to Brewer. Into the corner there, Burke in behind. McPhee on the line, shot. That one kicked out and stopped with the skate. In behind, they'll wrap around. Sackville now cutting out of the zone. Left side, staying onside. Tries to hand off. Picked up by McLean. McLean pays it back. LeBlanc picks up on it here for Sackville. 4 minutes left to go in the first. Chipped in down the right side. Back to 5-on-5 here. LeBlanc down low and behind. Tries to play in front. Quick shot there, and Snide on top of it as soon as it gets to the stick. And Sackville getting a few good chances here. On the right side, Hopkins spinning around the zone. It'll be wrapping around the boards there. Under 4 to go. Pinch into the boards. Surratt plays that in behind. Brian centered out in front, gets knocked back where it came from. Mood here on the left side now. Picked up Culp. Culp in through Sackville. Tries to thread that through to his teammate, but kicked off some skates there. No chance on it. Sackville now trying to set up. They would love to get one here before the end of the first period. 3:22 to go. LeBlanc sends it back the other way to the line, and it splits the D as no one claims that puck and gives Bedford a chance for a full change. And Sackville circling back to enter the zone here again. Flip back the other way. It'll come all the way down. Snide's gonna steer that aside. Duffy picks up on it. Duffy over to Land. Land back around to Duffy. Shot up the right side off a shin pad, and now Van Polgis comes in. Hakala down low. In along the boards. I gotta say, Hakala, I think, has put on a few inches of growth spurt so far this year. As I thought he started out one of the season as one of the smaller players on this Bedford team, but in the last few months it looks like he's kind of gone up there, because part of the way you do commentary is you pick up on how the players look and how they skate, and you know how you get pretty used to it when you do 20 plus games for a team, and get a little confused out there when number 18's there, because I kind of expect him to be a little smaller, but I feel like you put on a few inches there. As it's going to go, you see it all the time as you do the minor hockey like we do, as they cut in shot, and a good glove save there for the Sackville goaltender. A one-man effort through the middle, stifled with under 2 minutes to go in the first. 11-4 the shots. It's quite interesting because you see that the growth spurts and that sort of thing. As an example, Cole Chandler, who plays on the Steel Subaru and is expected to be Rookie of the Year in the U18 League and drafted in the first round of the QMJHL draft. He is a player that we did for the Barons years ago and the now defunct Barons, and then we did it for the Barons last year and now Steel Subaru this year. So 3 years we followed Cole Chandler through the Bedford system, and now he'll be going to the Q and can go back and we can see pretty much every home game he's played in the past 3 years on the High Button channel, and you can see the growth of the player in all aspects of the game as Gillis will head to the box and an opportunity here for Sackville. So it's pretty interesting how that kind of goes. The obvious relationship between Bedford and Dartmouth being that once you play for the Bandits, the U15 team, it's territorial, so your first tryout will be for the Dartmouth Steel Subaru. So that's kind of how that one works. Shot in, kicked aside by Snide. So you see a lot of those Bedford players obviously playing in Dartmouth. Whoa, that's a hot shot that hits the side, and Gallagher Temple over there on the bench, a few heads taller than him. That puck hits the side of the glass there, but if the coach was standing there, it could have been dangerous. Power play opportunity. 1:13 left in the first, 1:49 left in the power play. Pardon me. Into the left side, Sackville pulling it back. Down low, holding. Circling back around that one in through the middle. Burke then flicks it up through the middle. McLean's gonna change off there. Sackville holding, 12-4. Tillman hands it off. In through the offensive zone, stopped up on the wall. Brewer on it. Backhanded to the blue line, and Tillman will have that exit the zone. And 38 seconds left in the first. Sackville still looking to get something going here in our first frame. Started off hot for Bedford and kind of settled into a pace a little bit more in the second half of this period. But the penalties still coming, as I think we've seen a total of coincidentals, maybe 5 or 6 penalties here in the first period for both sides. Worked into the wall. Right side, Tillman on the line. That one pushed by. There. Oh, that one knocked out in front. And the feeder system works similar here in U15 as whatever team you live in, you try out for. So Tillman presumably will be playing for the Rangers next year. A lot of these guys will be playing for the Bandits next year as the seconds roll off the clock here, and that'll take us to the end of the first period. So 3-0 the score after one. After a penalty-filled first frame, we're going to take a 2-minute break here. Be back for the second. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here after a brief break in the action on this freezing cold Saturday, as the record temperature is here in Nova Scotia for how cold it is. I bet you there was a couple of cars here in the HRM that took a few extra seconds to start up this morning, including mine. Sheesh, it was an insane night out there, and even into today, if you go outside right now, your hands are white within seconds and frozen. So good little couple days here of cold weather in Nova Scotia after it's been a warm winter here for us so far. Only had one real snowfall this year. That one's worked back to Duffy. I remember when I was a kid growing up, it was cold enough to do a rink on the side of the house. And I think those days are long gone for us Nova Scotia residents, as is here any indicator. That one played back, and you're gonna just have to hope for the pond to freeze over or find one of those public rinks. Very popular in Toronto and Edmonton. Maybe they can catch on here as that one's cut out front, shot on, and Mood puts that one wide on the right side. Back to the line for McPhee. McPhee winds up shot. That one missing off the left. O'Leary gonna catch up to it. End of the power play, so we're back to 5-on-5. Coming back the other way. Bedford cleanly fields that and works it up. Hackala, touch pass there to the middle. O'Leary hands off. Brian down the left. He'll wind up. Shot that one wide. Back past McPhee. In the other way, Kendall. They have Hopkins to beat. He's got a man in the middle. Topped. Tipped there by Hopkins. Couldn't get that one by, and McPhee up the middle. Nice pass on the stick there. Van Polge stick handling in, drop pass, no one there to pick it up but O'Leary. O'Leary backhands it, knocked before it can get there. Van Polge shoots, that one knocked wide. Hackala there on the wall. Back to McPhee. McPhee stick handling. Nice little sauce pass over to their left side, shot on net. In behind, O'Leary comes at it, but Sackville able to get it. It'll be one-on-one the other way. Pressure there, and McPhee all over that puck as soon as it's on the stick. He knows how to get it off. Into the middle, Van Polgeest. McPhee been the top defender here on this Bedford team all season long. Continues his impressive U13 season. Calm, cool, collected back there as he'll regroup. Hand it off the middle and out the left side, and too many men. It looked like too many men again as they kicked it, but they won't get the call there again as they got it earlier in the game. Knocked down the wall, and here comes the penalty. And one of the dads yelling, "It's hockey." And like I was kind of talking about earlier, growing up with hitting in this league, you know, there's some kids that are a little bigger than the others and kind of just part of the game. But hitting taken out a few years ago, and now the commentator who's doing the Sackville game is letting his opinions be heard. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but nonetheless, it's an interesting spot they're at here with U13 because they are kind of the size and can play with a little bit of aggressiveness, how hockey is supposed to be played, really. But the calls still get made, so the power plays still happen, and you don't want to take too many penalties against this Bedford side as 3-0 still the score. It's been like that for a while. 12 minutes to go here in the second. Picking it up through the zone. Sackville, short-handed, cutting down the middle, over to the right side, held off, looking for a shot in. That one knocked in, and it's in behind, doesn't get through. As you can see that puck trickle out. Heads-up play by the Bedford team. There was about 4 of them back there in the crease. All of them took a swipe at it to clear it out. McLean down the right. He'll cut into the middle. Shot, scores as he snipes that one top right. And Hunter McLean continues his fabulous season and makes no mistake. I think that shot's going in U13, U15, and anywhere in between. That's a legit shot. And a power play marker here, 4-0. As they put another one on the board. As the second half of the season approaches, and man, it's crazy to think about. Just seems like yesterday we were here streaming the Jordan Boyd, another tournament. Bedford dominated the first time streaming here for the Bedford AAA team. And now we've got a full regular season under our belts here, and the playoffs will be on the other side of the Quebec tournament. And it'll be a good second half to the year here, hopefully, as we head into provincials and playoffs. That one worked out in front. Surrett has plenty of time. Shot. Save with the mask there in front. Played over to the right side. Duffy. Duffy down to Surrett. Gets tied up there, and the penalty coming as I think Surrett got his arms up. And a little makeup call here. Head contact, so he puts the hands up. And power play coming here for Bedford, so I don't think I'll hear much complaining from the Sackville side about this one. Pretty quiet over there, so I guess, you know, the Bats hockey chants and comments settle down a little bit when it's headed this way. Nonetheless, it'll be 4-0 here, and there'll be a 2-minute egg contact. You can get either 2 or 4 in minor hockey, depending on what the ref deems severe. And I guess they say that one was enough for the penalty, but not hard enough for 4 minutes. So an interesting one. It's kind of interesting here as sports evolve. The refs' jobs kind of become less subjective, but there's still aspects of the job that are subjective, especially here at this level. At the NHL, they're pretty much just out there to make the calls for the penalties. The goals always basically come down to video replay if it's close these days. Before, it was up to the refs' call on what they thought. But the penalties still mostly remain in the refs' hands. And that one's in towards the middle. And back the other way, picking up speed. Tillman tries to hand that off. He's just going to power through. Sackville played across, and they finish it off on the power play. Back in this game, 4-1. First one on the day, and Snide knew that one was getting by as 10 minutes left to go in the second. Needed that goal. Sackville side and their own power play marker. Head back to center ice here in a nice little tic-tac-toe play. And that's a AAA play made right there, folks. At this age, you're not going to see that sort of heads-up finish from many kids, but that's why they're the best, is 2 back-to-back goals. The McLean snipe down the right side, and then a Sackville give and go on the power play, perfectly executed the other way. Good hockey here in the U13, one of my favorite leagues to commentate, as you can really see the players come into their own and grow over the course of a season. As that one's backhanded around, Robertson over to Gillis, tipped back in the other way. Bedford gonna get a full change in here, up 3, 4-1 the score. And now Sackville in through center. Tripped up through the zone, no arm up, and here comes the chorus, or the peanut gallery, whatever you prefer, but we'll continue on. Walking down the middle, shot and fanned on, and then a rebound trying to get that by McLean in behind, tried to center out in front, knocked over, and now a penalty's coming. A technical on the bench. For all the yelling. And haven't seen one of those, I don't think, in the U13 yet this year. As a power play coming, the coach is jawing, I suppose, at the refs here, and Bedford giving a power play, and frustration over there on the away bench here on BMO Pad D. One back, Duffy over to McLean. McLean spun around, he's gonna step out, another shot in. That one tipped before it can get in there. Down low, Burke. Burke's gonna try to play that back around, it gets stopped. McLean gonna pick it up though, shakes off, holding on to it. Now in front, a little backhand, it's kicked around and covered up in front. And a little extra as the goaltender just got a shot in. Don't know if anything's gonna come of that. 8:48 left to go in the second. Some sticks out there and frustration for the goalie. Oh, they're gonna get Burke for it, as he's the only man to head to the box. And we'll go back to 4-4, and this game has just become an absolute penalty fest out here. As that's fair, give Burke the call, but I don't know, maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I thought I saw the goalie drop the stick and take a shot back, which would indicate that it should at least be coincidentals, but they're just gonna give Burke the slashing call here, and we're back to 4-on-4. You have to check the game notes, but I think probably up into the 7/8 of penalties here, and that's just the way this one's gonna go. Walking down the middle, Sackville. Duffy picks up on it, hands it off to the right side. Brewer gonna pick it up in stride. Held off to the outside, tries to steer in front. Can't get it centered. Duffy backhands that around and be dropped in low on the left side. Gotta come back. Wind up, tipped away by McLean as that makes a nice defensive play. Poke away at that puck, a minute left to 4-on-4. And now the arms go up. They said it was a chopping call, they were a slashing, but we'll continue on. McLean spins out in the middle. Pick up, hand it off to the right side. Duffy trying to knock that puck away, but it's Snide who makes the save and into the glass. 9 shots on Snide, 8 saves, a couple of good ones for him here though. One of the keys to this Bedford success this year, it's not all offense, clearly. The goaltending, 2 of the best in the league. Gallagher, Temple, and Snide, both legit goaltenders out there who have legit shots at making teams next year. Very, very good, and goaltending, such an interesting position. You can only do so much about your size, but if you know how to play that position well, you can be any size and you can make it as a goaltender. As we've seen, even in the NHL, goalies tend to skew a little bigger right now, but historically, plenty of good small to medium-sized goalies played. That's chipped up in just such an unpredictable position, but I have noticed all year long as Wood shoots that and McPhee's going to pick it up, how skilled these 2 guys are. Even if they let in a couple, and even if they have their weak games, just overall positionally and calmness about them. Good tandem in there. Gallagher, Temple played in the Joe Lamong-Tang last year. He was on the high button highlight reel there after winning the Sidney Crosby shootout last season, and now he comes in and plays this year for Bedford as we're back to 5-on-5 and plays on this top Bedford team. Another player who will be able to see his progression as a player through the high button YouTube feed throughout the years. Definitely cool, and another penalty coming here. That'll be a slashing call there on Sackville, and now the ref, or the coach, the arms up, and already got a penalty early. He's gonna have to be real careful as we're gonna keep an eye. And 6:48 left to go in the second, so we're just about halfway done, and he might be kicking him out. He's definitely pointing somewhere, the ref. And they're yelling now. Parents, yep, so okay, so the Sackville coach kicked out, receives 1 bench minor, now he's gone. And the Sackville parents are getting their thoughts expressed out there as well. And, you know, you can say your opinions on them, but I don't know about saying there's 2 teams, considering each side's seen about 4+ penalties here tonight or this afternoon, but nonetheless, we'll continue on. We got a game to finish here, 4-1 score. 1 goal would really put Sackville back in this one as they shake someone off in behind, and an extra shot, nothing called there. Worked in front now, Surrett shot on, that one tipped up in the zone, and some bad blood maybe coming out before the Quebec tournament. Bedford on the power play, chipped in through the middle, and it'll be a 2-on-1 the other way. Hand it off. Handing down the right side. Gillis holds him to the outside and pushes away. Picked up now. Shipped out of the zone. Wind up for the slap shot. A good clear in there. 5:54 left to go in the second. Shots 20-9. Along the right side, Surrett finds Burke and cleared into the zone. What a wild game we've had here so far. Took us about 20 minutes to play our first 10 minutes of actual game time. And since then, it's been a rough game back and forth. Emotions and tensions high here at BMO Rink D. Spinning around, Van Polgis, he's having a good game out there. Back to the line, held in, Duffy hands it off, Hackala down the right side. He's spun back to Land. Land down past Hackala's stick. Land tries to keep it in. They do, but eventually gets chipped out. Van Polgeest hands it off to the left side. Duffy held on to now. Land gonna walk that blue line, bring it in on side. Stops up, chips it in. It gets knocked off a stick before it can get in ahead. 5 seconds left to go on the power play, so it looks like Sackville will escape here. And now, man down, no arms up. The penalty box door is wide open. And now another penalty coming as hacked down in the zone. And an interference. And the Sackville penalty box will stay open. And LeBlanc will head in. He doesn't know what he did, but lots of frustration nonetheless. Oh, and confusion here at the boxes. So it looks like actually it's Bedford in there, so that's canceled off. And we'll head in. 4:40 left to go in the second. Tough to see what that exact call was, but it was an interference. So power play for Sackville now. 4:40 left to go in the second. Like I said, one goal will put them right back in this game. Won the score. Bedford with a hot start. They've got one since then, but it's mostly been even here in the second period. Held on to him behind, gonna wrap it in front. That one backhand, it just misses the back of the net there. Gonna wrap in the end boards, and now picked up on the left side. Stick handling it around, and little ricochet pass there. McPhee tries to cut it off on the wall, spinning back the other way. Back to the blue line. Puck gets worked in ahead, and Brian tries to keep up, is down on the right side now. Bedford players coming back now and missing that pass across. Into the left side. Puck bounced in low. McPhee spun around. That one escaped some sticks and will be sent back in the zone. 3:48 left to go in the second. A minute on the Sackville power play. Hand it off. Back to McPhee. McPhee surveys. Up the left side, stick lifted. Into the zone they come. Sackville gonna have to regroup. Left side. Back to Gillis. Gillis shoots it hard up through the middle. It's gloved down. O'Leary puts pressure on, but it's steered in. Kendall hands it off. Right side shot. That one gloved down there by Snide. 33 seconds left in the power play. 3:13 left in the second. So I want to thank you for tuning into our broadcast here on High Button Sports. Like I said, the first game of the week here, of the weekend. As after this, it'll be Dartmouth tonight at 5:30. So the U15's going at it. I'll be on the call there. Go to Zatzman Sportsplex. And tomorrow we'll pick up with a Basin Armada game over to Rink D here at the BMO Center, along with another Whalers game at the same time. So some minor hockey taking place, and the arm goes up here. It looks like it'll be another penalty coming to Bedford as they touch it up. And holding the stick is the call. So 8 seconds of 5-on-3. And then it'll be back to the power play pretty much to take us to the end of the second period. We'll have a flood, and then we'll be back for the third. But the penalty train continues as Sackville tries to work themselves back into this game. And we won't be seeing the Bedford AAA team on the High Button channels here, unfortunately, for a little bit, as like I said, they do head off to Quebec, and as much as we tried, the streaming is exclusively through the Quebec tournament. So even though there's 7 or so exhibition games being played, we'll not have coverage on that tournament. You'll have to go elsewhere for that, but I'll be keeping a close eye at home. I'm thinking if I should pay that $50 to watch the guys play, it'll be a game time decision for me. But nonetheless, it'll be an exciting time for these young men. And 5-on-4 starting here, back to the line. And then after that, we'll be back. And the good news is we will be streaming all playoff games, home and away, for this Bedford AAA team, and then provincial. So after the Quebec tournament, if they go all the way, we could have every single game here on High Button Sports. So there'll still be plenty of hockey left to play this season, but the regular season will end here for Bedford as that one's ricocheted off the glass. Back in the zone, 1:50 to go in the second, 1 minute to go in this 5-on-4. Back-to-back power plays for Sackville. Up through the middle. Steering on and eventually knocked off there. Spun around, a hard shot there to McLean. McLean shoots it, steered away, and now a penalty behind the play. 200 feet from the play here. I'm getting Duffy for a cross check, and it's gone deathly quiet here to my left side as the penalties have been evened it up here. Now 3 penalties in a row to Bedford. And I won't even bother taking that penalty power play marker off. I don't know if I've commentated a game that's gone this way all season long. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Is puck on the boards, they'll play it back. Tillman keeps it in with a little flick pass ahead, just keeps it, but Land comes back to it. Sackville with possession still, in towards the right side. 5-on-3 here for 23 seconds from Sackville. Down 3, nearing the last minute of play here in the second period. Picked up by Duffy, and a great play forward by Duffy. Clears that in the other way and killing valuable time off the 5-on-3. Just 7 seconds left on it. That went over to Cole. Cole over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc brings it in onside. Drop pass. Still holding. All the way to the wall, then spun back the other way. Trying to push off. 35 seconds left to go in the period. A minute left to go in the penalty. Hakala down the right side. Chips it on in. Spun around the other way, handed off. Back into the zone. Good hands there by Hakala. Chips it in. 14 seconds to go. It's along the end boards. Tillman tries to get out on it, but with less than 10 to go, this could be the end of the second period here, and it looks like it will be with Bedford up 4-1 here at the end of 2. We'll head to the locker rooms here for a quick 10-minute break. As a little extra stuff after the whistle here between Mood and Tillman, but that'll be it. We'll head to the locker room, and we'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere for a third period. right, and we are back here for the third period as we look to finish out this game. The 50-50 draw just taking place, and I believe Jill Anderson, I don't want to get that one wrong because of the prize, but I do believe that Anderson won the tickets to the Montreal-Toronto. Someone said that's my cousin, so we all know it's a valid victory at least, and congratulations there as the preparation for Quebec continues, and we've got a third period to play here, 15 minutes on the clock as the parents roll in. Everyone headed to the warm room here at the BMO Center as it's a cold day. No one's spending any more time in here than they have to in the rink. Up the right side onto the stick of Culp. Culp tries to hand that off. We'll be back to 5-on-5 here. Tons of penalties. Oh, and here comes another one here, tripping call. So I was just about to say tons of penalties in the first two periods. We're seeing how it goes here in the third. And we start off with an early one here to Bedford as Hopkins will be to the box. 4-1 the score, and continue on as Bedford here on the PK with 14-11 left in the third. So trying to hang on here. One back at spun around. Gillis picks up on it. Trying to poke it by. It's picked off on the boards and stays in the zone. Bedford then comes out with it though. Stick handling Burke tries to get it in ahead. Exits back to the line. Played across. Sackville pick it up and shot in down low. Gillis. Gillis spinning around, hands it off to Brewer. Brewer chipped up the wall. Into the zone. Going for a stick lift. It'll be shaken off and spun back around. Tillman looking for the pass. Hands it off to the right side. Stopped up and played down low. Back. Sackville taking their time entering the zone here on the power play. Tries to shoot that down. Bedford all over it, and they'll shoot it back where it came from. 21-10 here are the shots. Into the left side looking for a lane. That one bounces off some shafts and back to McLean. McLean will instantly fire it back in. 48 seconds on the power play. Sackville just needs that goal to bring it within two. It's been a 3-0 deficit pretty much all game long. As Cole shoots in, steered aside by Snide. Into the boards, held on to, and that'll wrap around the boards. Back to Cole. To the line, shot in, missing. Caught up to it now, looking for the lane out. Surrett has it. Surrett down the right side. He'll hold on, shot, and eventually jumped on and quickly covered up. 14 seconds left to go in the power play. Surrett frustrated, but a good rush there nonetheless. 14 seconds left on the power play. And we've now officially called this the longest segment in the game without a penalty. I'm just joking, but it feels like that here as we approach the end of this game here, and next time you'll see this team on broadcast, it'll be a few provinces over. That one held on to, worked across. Left side, that one steered in low, pushed into the corner. McPhee picks it up. McPhee looks for the lane, onto the stick there. Mood just gets it ahead. It'll be 2-on-1 the other way. Burke and Mood. Burke across. Mood tipped by as McPhee tried to catch in on it, and he might have knocked it out of the way there of that delivery. We'll continue on though. In towards the middle. Hakala cuts in on it. He'll spin back. Back to McPhee on the line. McPhee walking in, lots of space. McPhee shot, glove down, looking for the rebound, stopped. And that'll definitely get some extra stuff after the whistle. But that'll end the power play, so we'll be back to 5-on-5. On a successful kill. And is this going to be coincidentals? It will. So 2 more to the box. Mood sent in there for Bedford and jump back in. Oh, no, looks like they put a penalty up on the board for Sackville. 2 guys in the box, 1 penalty up. Okay, but it's still 5 players, so I'm sure that's just an error. 5-on-5 out there. Is now they head over to the line and say, gotta get this fixed up. And we're all set to go here. Oh no, it's still up there, but we're gonna play it off anyway. Oh well, as it will be 5-on-5. Sent in down the right side. That'll wrap around the end boards. Hauled down there, no call as it's knocked into the way to the middle. That'll bounce past the glove onto the stake there of Hackle, and then shoots the Sackville player into the mesh. And we'll have another whistle. 17 seconds into that. So even though there's no Bedford play coming up here, the Bedford AAA play in the next few weeks, that doesn't mean they don't want to keep an eye on the High Button channel. We're doing the podcasts over there. Had Steve Kroll on, the owner and the runner of the U18 Steel Subarus, as that one's sent in, and Van Polgies will pick it up on the wall as he was on the podcast telling some great hockey stories from back in the day, and he's been around the Halifax, Dartmouth, Bedford, Sackville area coaching hockey for a long time. So an interesting listen there as that puck's kicked out with a beautiful save. 1:10 left to go in the Bedford power play. And a man that some of these kids could very well be playing for someday, as that one's back handed in. Coming out of the zone now, Duffy will catch up to it. So it's an interesting listen there. Make sure you go check that out, and plenty of other action around. As that's in on the right side. Pinch down. Held on to Sackville. Made a couple nice toe drags to get that in front. Couldn't finish it off. 38 seconds on the power play. And obviously, the big game coming up here next weekend. We'll have a podcast this year handicapping who we think's gonna be taking home that Super Bowl trophy. Burke by, and that'll get poked back. Unfortunately, my Patriots had a year to forget. And of course, Tom Brady retiring. Patriots legend, the best football player to ever play, and he retired this week, so a bit of an odd football season as the All-Star weekend happening there at hockey. So there's been no NHL on for the past week or so. So this will be the best hockey you get around, as that's handed off to the right side. Robertson steps in, shoots that high, it'll be gloved down, and now pushed in front there, Brian. Bit of a chippy player as is, and in a game like this, we'll get called out real quick. It's 5-on-5 here with 9:20 to go in the third. Oh, I think they might actually be leading him to the penalty box. Yep, so back to the coincidentals, and that is something. It's a lot called, but I think we've been over the penalties enough this game. It's just kind of part of how it's going. 2 coincidentals in there. We're back to 5-on-5, however. McLean will come out to fill that spot for Brian. Mood there on center. Pulling around, trying to do a little chip pass out in front. It'll exit the zone. Robertson hands it off. Gillis, Bedford's done a phenomenal job of just keeping that puck out of their end. It's been a textbook game for them here so far. Despite the penalties, they've played phenomenally defensively. There's been less than 2 minutes of offensive pressure here for the Sackville team in this game. So despite the oddities of the game and the coach is getting kicked out, business as usual here for the Blues. McLean shoots that on, spun aside. Surratt pushed in along the boards. Mood in there as well. Mood takes a hard fall. He's right back up. McLean picks it up, hands it back to the line. McPhee plays that down the right side. Surratt grabs it. Surratt tries to steer out in front. Only Sackville players there to pick it up. Down the right side, they'll head out. Stopped up by Hopkins. Back in, Hopkins hands that off to the middle, and it could be an odd man rush cutting down. Mood elects to hold on to it. Down the right side, shot, save, and penalty coming here. Oh, and now an extra shot after the whistle, and the ref's just scooping him into the box now. 28-12 here, the shots. 8:27 to go in the third. And get some friends there. There's a couple of the Bedford boys will hang out in there. The rest will convene. And some more of the Sackville players trying to catch up on what exactly will be the final verdict here on this most recent play. 4-1 the score. It's been 4-1 for a while. 8:27 to go in the third. We're almost halfway through this final frame, and now the rest will get a word in with the coaches and they'll say, all right, yeah, whatever, we'll keep playing here. And now another player heading in for Bedford, so McLean will head in. So it looks like two coincidentals and a penalty against Bedford. Here's the final verdict. And Sackville will be on the power play, trying to claw their way back into this game. Bedford have held pat here. Van Polgeest up the right side. Van Polgeest hands that off to McPhee. McPhee all the way in. He pressures. Chipped in on the right side now. Picked off. Back to the line they go. Held on to, spun around the other way. Left side, that one comes back. Kept inside the blue line. Held on to down the left side. Pulled back to Hopkins. Hopkins hands that off to the on-rushing O'Leary. Intercepted by O'Leary. Down the right side, short-handed, gets a shot off. Blockered away. Sackville playing it up the right side now. Picked up with speed. Into the zone, shot on, and that'll be covered up. And 1:06 left to go in the PK. Snide out there chatting it up. Ready to go here. Dropped into the left side. Duffy wins it back. Sackville get possession though, and that one gets by, but to the outside. Didn't reach the net. Harvey back to the line. Misses that puck. Harvey cutting back down the right side. He'll go in. O'Leary spinning it out through the middle. By LeBlanc on the right side, now picked up. LeBlanc steps in. Stick lifted there. It's tipped aside. Duffy tipped it into his own goalie there. It's tried to chip by on the wall, into it the middle. Intercepted and held on to now Land. Land coming in down the left side. He'll stop up. Flick back around. That'll come back to Gillis. Gillis hands it off. Into the zone they come now, just offside on the right there, and Burke shakes his head, but it did look offside there. 6:39 left to go in the third. Bedford knocking on the doorstep of 30 shots, 29 to 14 the current. One back, Gillis shoots it on down the left side, pulling back to the line there. Chopped on. Just entering down the right side, held on to, shot in, and save. As the ref faked putting his arm up there. I don't know if he thought it might be a penalty, but held it down. But you don't see that very much. A little hesitation. Usually refs are pretty committed bunch. Once they make a call up in their head, it's their way or the highway, essentially. That one went over to Robertson. Robertson in behind. Played up the right side into some skates. Chopping away at it. Can't quite get it in ahead. Sackville stepped up left side. Poked up the stick there. Robertson. Robertson sent down for an icing. Will be just under 6 minutes to play here. As everyone clears out of the box, so back to 5-on-5. The coincidental's over and the extra man for Sackville. One to the middle, and Duffy tried to pick it up and strike. Gets knocked away. Van Polgeest now on the left side. He'll chip that ahead. He gets pressure, but he continues pressuring himself, and that one gets over to the left side. O'Leary picks it up. O'Leary dumps it back. Picked up, Van Polgeest chips it down in behind. Hackle looking for the cutoff. Kept in. Hopkins down the right side. Stopped. Into the skates. That'll come back to the middle. Picked up in stride by McLean. Spinning back around now. Good job hacking at that. McLean down the right. He'll shoot on. Steered away. In behind. Caught up to there. Brewer. Brewer back to McPhee. McPhee holds. Into the zone down the right side. Wind up shot. McPhee, and he scores. 5-1 as they put another one home here with 4:46 to go in the third, and a nice hard shot off the rush. McPhee's had a good game here. Noticeable player, and a lot of goal to the stat sheet. Land wins that back, hands it off, picked up. Now by McLean. McLean works it ahead. Burke shot on, that one missing wide. Tries to steer out in front. That one's going to wrap around the boards to the right side. Picked up by Duffy. Duffy slap shot in. That one rebound in front. Battling away at it, and it'll be covered up. That one just stayed out of those lone dead right on the line. Couple penalties here in the last few minutes. Sackville back the other way, 2-on-2. Steered off and knocked it behind. Mood picks up one there on the right side. He'll push that puck out himself. Into the zone they come. Drop back. Now Sackville pick it up. It's a big pile up there on the back end, but they'll continue play. Down the left side, stopped up now. Sticks on sticks, cutting in through the middle. Stopped, and the RM goes up. And a hooking call there, and I don't know what that one was about. But Bedford will head to the box here, so PK coming. With up 4 with 3:45 to go. It'll be 5-on-4 here. One back. Hackala. Played around, Van Polgeest, he'll shoot that down. The PK unit out here once again. Pressure down low, Hackala grabs it. Plays it over to McPhee. McPhee down low. Bounces off his stick. And in the other way, Van Polgeest tries to catch up to it. He'll spin around the other way now. Cutting into the zone they come. All alone there, Hackala. Plays that back to Hopkins, just on the stick there. Played in down the right side. 3 minutes to play here in the third. Intercepted by McPhee. He pushes that puck ahead, tries to center it, gets turned over. Brewer gonna cover for him on D. Chipped by on the right side. Sackville on the power play, keep it. Snide makes the save, and then it's flipped back out the other way. 2:47 to go. Wait for that pass here. Cole grabs it. Cole, nice little chip pass ahead. Onside they come. Into the left, shot on. That one will reach the net. Land now in behind. Land tries to play it around. It'll come back for Brewer. He's gonna fire that one down. 33 seconds left in the penalty kill. Not threatening here. Into the zone, down the right side, gloved on. Snide's gonna get a piece of it, but it'll stay alive. McLean picks up on it. McLean gets a backhand. Just comes out of the zone as Tillman has to regroup. He hands it off. Looking for that lead pass onto the stick. Duffy pressuring. Comes back around. Land hands it off. Duffy, McLean now. Tries to steer it in front, end of the power play. We're back to 5-on-5 here with 90 seconds to go. Sent in McLean. Pushed wide to the corner. Sackville picks it up in behind. Play continues. Trying to reach around there. They'll get it to Tillman at least. Tillman down the left side. He picks up speed, wind-up shot. That one tipped high. Gillis into the left side. Comes up to the middle. McLean trying to pick it up. He'll have to play to the right. Trying to power through. Centers in front. Burke's shot. That one comes over and hits the post. Trying to work it back in front. They put it back, and they're going to call a penalty on Bedford for interference. Okay, so that one called off. 58 seconds to go. And this must be a record. I have never seen so many. Brian, an aggressive player in his own right, but I didn't see what that one was for. Nonetheless, 58 seconds to go. Back to the PK. Back to the blue line. Hand it off. Picked it up in stride. Shot on. Rebound there front. Too far out. Last minute of play here. Kept in. Perfect shot again. Fair shot. That one off the shoulder of Snide as he gets right to it. Chipped by. They're going to look to work it back the other way. Just kept inside the zone. Circling, and that one exits. Going to be back to McPhee. McPhee in stride. Shift back. Picked up now. Glover. Over to O'Leary. O'Leary hustles that puck in. Final 10 seconds here as Bedford will add another victory here against Sackville as they head into the Quebec Pee Wee tournament. And that'll do it. So, a 5-1 victory here after a wacky game, but that'll do it here for us on High Button Sports. It was a successful one, and we appreciate you tuning in, especially over the past 2 weeks or so as we made up the rest of this Bedford season. It's been my pleasure. Good luck to the Bedford boys in Quebec. I'll be keeping an eye on it, and we will